Hello and welcome to another replay analysis 7.27c. We're going to be doing an Ogre game. This is going to be Bombitz, who's going to be playing the Ogre Magi. Right now he's actually, we're going to look at his player perspective for the first 10-15 minutes for the laning. Make sure we see all of his camera work, his sort of movements, everything that he does, especially in the early game, which I feel is like the most important. He's a position 5, so hopefully he's going to create enough space for the interesting enough a Slardar carry. But going into the lineup, I think that initially this is like Viper, CK, Slardar. These guys, while they can carry and they can play core, I feel like they fall off. So this lineup is kind of like on a timer. Like they need to close out games pretty quick, as opposed to this one, which the Sven, you do have a bit of a late game silencer who scales infinitely depending on how late the game goes and how many kills he can get. So it will be interesting, at least seeing the first, seeing this game. And CK, which throws out the blast, the stun, and that's super early. A lot of action going up in the top lane, and you're just wanting to walk out of that, make sure you don't get in. But man, that DOT is going to do some damage here. First blood is actually drawn in at top lane, with Dazzle just kind of get some pot shots in, and through that all, the Slardar, Akidab. All right, we'll just call him Slardar because I'm going to butcher all names. So I apologize for that. I don't know if this is going to be a solo one, but yeah, you're tanky, but not this tanky. You do need to stick up. Giving up. Okay, so you stick here. That was interesting. Oh, okay. Actually, that tangle that you took was a little dangerous. Okay, so the issue with that is that when you're fighting 2v1, never ideal for the Ogre, right? Because of the fact that, yeah, you're tanky and stuff, but you're not... Like, you don't want to take two fights against two people right away. And this Jakiro seems to want you. He's kind of like, okay, he's back into the lane. Okay. I do like your starting items. You do have a ward, though, that you haven't placed. Throwing out the ignites. Okay, so now you place the ward. Hang on, I just want to see if... Okay, it's outside of the box. Good. You should be more aggressive. You should be more aggressive here. If your teammate is willing to go in, and Slardar is kind of a nasty laner in the sense that he's a strong core, he's a big boy, right? You guys hitting together, like now you're going to tank some of these creeps and probably take a little unnecessary damage. You need to kind of stick up with him, and you kind of get that in. Start popping clarities. Yep, there you go. Okay, now is the time to be a little bit more... So what you should have done is you got to look at HP as a resource, right? So when you should have been aggressive when your Slardar was going in, so that you trade some damage, because his innate regen of 6.4 is pretty sick, especially for early in this game. So this is the type where you could have traded and then lost some HP, and then now you're going back to clarity. You know, you pop the clarity and then gone for the pull, right? Because if you do that, you're going to regen anyways, and you don't want to fight. But you've gotten something out of that because of the fact that you've traded some HP for that. Okay, so he ruins your clarity, not the end of the world, but you've pulled it through. Okay, so so far, okay. All right, you actually needed to have killed this thing very quickly, because then you were trying to do the extended pull, and actually that was close, but you need to time it a little differently in the sense that all the creeps need to die, so that you make sure that this creep was pulled into your creep camp. Now, instead, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a little bit of a double pull here, or a double wave, and it's going to push. Something to work on. Now, like, again, I don't know how familiar you are with some of the stuff that I do in terms of my YouTube clips, but I do have one recently talking about the priorities of position 4 and 5. Definitely check that out. I think that'll kind of help you in terms of what you want to be doing and how you can be a little bit more active. Second thing that kind of sticks out to me right now is that you've actually got the full wand, okay? You're position 5, where actually brown boots is more beneficial to you. Being able to move around will prevent a lot of the damage for you. You don't need, like, the +3 stats. Yes, it makes you tankier and does all that, but you're not really trading hits. You're not really getting hit. And brown boots getting into position, you know, doing stacks, pulling through will get you into the places faster, right? And you're going to feel it because you're going to be behind. Hang on, let me see what item you're getting right now. Okay, so you're buying a lot of items, a lot of regen. Hang on, you're actually buying more tangos? You haven't traded anything. You don't need tangos right now. Like, right now, what you need is brown boots. Brown boots is super important. Oh, that's Jakiro. Gotta protect him. Okay. Yeah, because the brown boots, it goes a long way. You really don't need more tangos here. Like, I feel like 3 tangos is just enough. Okay, you're doing a little work here. Slardar hopefully survives. Okay, okay. One thing, instead of this stick, maybe I've seen people go Orb of Venom. I think you're okay. Okay, so now you've traded, and now you've proven me wrong in the sense that you've got enough regen. But if you had brown boots, you could have avoided a lot of that damage to begin with. Okay, so just kind of there's a reason why, and I'll just kind of pop this up right here. There's a like, this is the starting build, and a Torte, which is like probably the most highly rated guides out there. This is perfect. Like, it's a very cookie cutter build, but there's a reason why 92% with over 26 million views, or games played on this, excuse me. There's a reason why this is tops, right? Because this itemization is actually what I would have recommended as well. Okay, so once you understand, you know what I mean? Like, there are going to be items later on where you need to think about the game, and you need to, you know, maybe you need to stick early because they're up against like a bristleback, somebody who spams a lot of spells. Like, that makes sense, right? So to start out, though, I think you start with the cookie cutter build. Okay, just steal runes, which is good. But yeah, okay, so the second thing is another piece is that I'm finding that your Ogre, while tanky, has not been doing enough zoning. I think that you're doing good support work in the sense of like pulling and creating space like that, but that tends to be with heroes that don't want to be in lane, that really can't zone, that aren't very strong, you know? The Ogre is actually one of the best supports because he's so strong in lane. His innate regen is sick. 7.1. Let me compare that to the Jakiro with 4.2. Hang on, you're getting gone on right here. Sorry, I'm trying to tell you do stats and all this stuff. Just dual breath. Yeah, you're probably gonna die there. Yeah. Okay. So why you zone, why you do all of these things is that A, you create space for your carry to get last hits and who can become stronger. But in the same way, if you zone them out and you do a lot of damage, then those guys can't get last hits and get stronger. So it makes your life easier if you're more aggressive. Like right now, you've been somewhat passive. You've been throwing out the ignites and stuff like that, and I feel like that works for almost any other position 5, maybe like a Dazzle, you know, Shadow Demon, like that type, who wants to stay in the back. But for somebody like an Ogre, you got to be aggressive. You got to be in the guy's face, and you got to be super annoying. You got to create like all of this space for your Slardar to free farm. Because if you're looking at last hits, the Underlord is tops, right? Your Slardar is 25. Like, this should be reversed because of the amount of space that the Ogre had done. Second thing is that I'm kind of seeing that the Fire Blast here, this is, you gotta use the most efficient spells possible. And as an Ogre, Ignite, while I think is fine, I think the Bloodlust is probably the best way to go, because Fire Blast, if you're looking at it, stun duration is the same, 1.5. But the Fire Blast damage, yes, it's doubled, but it's from a 60 to a 120. Really not that much. Oh, he misses the crush there. But if you're looking that and comparing to the fact that, you know, if you get Bloodlust, you get the movement speed, 7%, you get attack speed, and all that stuff. So this is kind of why, generally speaking, I would go Orb of Venom, and then I would probably, you know, I've seen even go like Bloodlust first. Sometimes, you know, Ignite or Bloodlust, whichever the two. Ice Path, that should stop it. Oh, it gets killed. Okay, good. So your Ignite end up pulling it out, but this is why, like, I understand that you're trying to be like, oh, I don't have enough mana to really cycle through all of these 3, but it's really not about that. Because, again, this is level 2 for value, for points. All it does is the extra 60 damage, right? If it did more of a stun, if it did more other things, but, like, even the cooldown is from, like, 11 to 10 seconds. It's kind of negligible at this point, right? So this is why Bloodlust, in my opinion, I've seen max, like, 144. Obviously with the multicast inside, you know, depending on what level you go. But these are the kinds of things that even the guide, and I'm going to open this up here. Look it. Fire Blast is just 1 point, and he doesn't get it until 13, 14. Right? There's a reason why this guide is the best. And I think that, you know, this is what really sticks out to me so far in this game, is that you're doing your own thing, and while I, you know, obviously you're independent, you're, you know, you're a strong, independent woman, whatever you are, that's fine. But I don't think we need to outthink the guide right now. I think that, like, let's stick with the guide to start. And then when the game requires me to change up the build because of, you know, the different heroes in my lane, or the game, you know, maybe mid-tier and beyond, maybe that's when you kind of change it, okay? So, all right, I'll stop with that. Sorry, and I've actually did not see you die. Apologies, I'm a terrible person. Talking about other stuff. My bad. Actually, I kind of want to see how you died. Sorry. I wanted like a diatribe. Alright, so you actually rotated mid. You're doing some damage, good. But the Necro's kind of tough. This is where you gotta bail. You gotta bail. Yeah. Because, okay. Necro is the type where he's got that ethereal form and then that heal, that pop-up, right? That really catches people off guard. Those are the kinds of things that you need to be careful about. Second thing is that even in the laning phase, you really should not be diving under tower, especially when there's no creeps. Definitely be careful with that. Be a little bit more cautious. Your job is to provide space, zone out, you know, pull camps, all of that stuff. But at the same time, you need to do it in a safe way. For you to get better as a support, your number, like, this is the ultimate teller, right? I don't care how long this game is. I mean, if it goes more than an hour, usually it's okay to be over 10 deaths. But if it's under 1 hour, there is no reason, no excuse for you to have 10 deaths or more. Like, that's like that number. It's an arbitrary number, I get it. And it really depends on the, you know, how the flow of the games go. But it's a big teller in the sense that your positioning needs some sort of work. Okay? Alright. You're level 5 here. You're probably going to get level 6 soon. 955, you definitely need to start. You got to have these internal timers. 455, 450, 950, like all of these things. Every 5 minutes, you need to make sure that you're in position to secure those bounties. And it can't be just like a lucky thing where, like, oh, I just got the bounty. But, like, you need to ensure that you're, like, stacking around it. You're playing around those timers. It's super important, especially at as a support. Now, you've been given the lane, which I get. Slardar not feeling comfortable, especially against this somewhat toxic lineup. Jakiro and, you know, Underlord, pretty meta right now. Definitely a lot of damage. So things you need to watch out for. Now, all right, what is the next item? I would definitely shift Q something up here. I think that Arcane is probably the best way to go. That's usually what I go, just because he has, again, his innate regen is so good. And you do have mana problems at some point. Like, even if you're going to last hit like this, like, having that value point, the bloodlust, would have done wonders, right? Again, just going to the guide. When should you have gotten bloodlust? Probably level 4, right? But just because you can cast it on yourself and then it'll help you last hit, it'll help you get from place to place. It would help you secure that rune. Okay, cool. Oh, you're missing last hits, though. And this is funny because, like, you're completely by yourself now. Even Underlord is shifted top. You can see him in the top. I'm using my mouse right now to kind of showcase where he is. He's actually given up and gone to the jungle. So your Underlord actually had, or sorry, your Slardar had space. Now, okay. Okay. Get your arcanes, pop it. Whenever it's off cooldown, you should use it. Because again, every time you, like, this is the type of thing where you're getting free, but every time you don't use it, and that cooldown's not ticking, you're wasting efficiency. Like, you need to just constantly use this. Whenever it's off cooldown, I mean, yeah, it's best to, you know, to cast it with a teammate, but at this point, you're so far by yourself, it doesn't really matter. If he's going to go in like that, yeah, just hide in the trees. And your Slardar's here. Stunned. Nice crush there. Corrosive Haze, yeah, Underlord just really bad positioning. There's no reason to be under tower, okay? And these are the kinds of things that, even for the dire side, you need that, like, internal feeling. Like, if all of your creeps are knocking on that tower, like, there's an announcer that goes, hey, your tower's under attack. You know what I mean? It brings a lot of attention to it. So if that's happening, even as the Underlord, you need to back up. All right, so if we're looking at, you know, 12 minutes here, we're going to look at net worth. Mind you, this is not more than an hour long. Okay, good. All right, because usually if it goes more than an hour, sometimes people try to kill me in that sense. And I can only do so much. I'm just one man. But yeah, I like the fact that you're going Aether. That's fine. Actually, okay, so another thing that, like, if you're looking at lineups, going into a game, the biggest thing for me is to see what sort of damage the team excels in, right? Like the Necro, Underlord, Jakiro, generally speaking, have a ton of magic damage, right? So is somebody on your team gonna, you know, counter this and bring like a pipe, right? Is someone gonna buy a pipe? Are you that guy that needs to buy the pipe? These are the questions your team needs to ask. You need to figure this out, right? Looking at builds right now, I'm seeing nobody do this. Yeah, nobody's actually going pipe. Nobody's reacting properly. Like, if you have pipe, all of this magic damage that they bring really gets nullified. Okay, nice stun there. That should secure that one. Good. And you secure the Necro, who's just completely out of position. Silencer's like, alright, let the guy die. Mind you, if you are carrying 4 observers as a support, you are not doing your job well. You are not a good person. Okay? You're probably like an anti-masker. And you're like a flat earther. Yes, I've said it. No, okay, a bit harsh, but you need to be placing these observer wards places, right? You need to make sure that you have vision, because if you're holding this, your team is lacking vision, and it's free. Okay, that's gonna be a dead silencer, so he cries in a corner. He should be okay. The Underlord is TPing in, and everybody just retreats. Good retreat there. Good. You got the memo a little late, and now you're starting to run back. Good. Get out. Connects him into 2. Nice global silence there. And then it's looking to at least kill the Viper. Yeah, the Reaper Scythe will end that. Just, this is the type, again, when you see the Underlord and the Necro TP in. Like, you saw this here, right? This is a numbers game, okay? I don't care how farmed you are, especially in this stage of the game. If you see that those guys outnumber you, you're going into a fight empty-handed, or in a bad position. You need to probably back up here. Yeah, they're coming for you. It's time to run. It's time to run. Yeah, you're not going to get out of this. Dazzle was like, should I save ya? No, yeah, okay. So, this is not a good play by the CK. There's no reason to go in. Okay, once this fight ends, I'll continue that. Quick stun, Ice Path will lock him in. Oh, Shallow Grave. No mana for the TP, even out. He's going to try to walk away. He's got one more shallow, one more heal. Oh, it gets caught in. Ice Path one more time. Okay. So your movement is fine in the sense that, like, you know what I mean? You don't have cooldowns, or your spells are on cooldown. So you just backed up, waited for them, and then come back in. That's fine. But, all right, back to this initial thing. This is like a snowball effect, right? Where you see the numbers coming in. And at that time, I believe I saw 4 heroes. You only had 3, right? And I ain't no math expert or nothing. But if you see 4 guys and you're in a group of 3, like in real life, you saw 4 dudes coming at you and you only had 2 of your buddies. What do? You think, oh, shit, we got this fight, man. We beat these guys up. It's like, you know, I did some BJJ or whatever. Like, no. You're going to probably respect the fact that they have an extra dude, right? And you're going to be a little hesitant and you need to run. Okay? So in the same way in like Dota and real life, you need to understand that when you guys are strong. If you're in position where you have 4 guys and they only have 3, hey, by all means go beat up on the dude. Like, I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, you have the numbers, right? Just think of it as like a numbers game. Everything, right? Alright, so Slardar has managed to make his way to the top. And he's going with this interesting Moonshard build. Does he go 6 Moonshards? I've seen that. I thought it was a meme build. But I have seen it work. As crazy as it sounds. Nice stun. That Jakiro, really bad positioning. Underlord trying to save him. Okay. The heal plus. But you don't want to be walking in this macro part or just get out of it. Yeah. Okay. A little bit more poison touch there. He should back up. Underlord's kind of tanky. I mean, yeah, he does mech. But he needs to arcane and get that mech ready. Probably should have salved. Okay. And so now you've got 4 people, right? And they have what? They have 2 people. So this is the time to push. You have great vision. You see that the wards give you vision. You can see roughly what they have. But you do need to be a bit careful. Obviously, the Dazzle being in the back is just making CK's life a lot easier because he can save it almost at any point. Now, TPs are coming in. You've gotten the Underlord. Nice stun there, a little bit of a lucky multicast, and yeah, that should be a dead Necro. Just walking into that. Okay. And now the TPs are slowly coming in. Like, this is the time where you have 3 guys literally versus 5. No matter how low they are. Can you secure this kill? I doubt this. Oh, God Strength being used. Just yeah, backpedal. You've got Ignite if you really wanted to, but it doesn't really matter. You even brought some creeps. Yeah, you should be fine. I think that you probably want to buy out. You don't need to... Yeah, like, whatever your surplus is, you should always be looking to spend that money. Keep your surplus low. So that when you do die, God forbid you do die, it will keep you... You know what I mean? You give up less gold. If you don't understand how unreliable... Oh my God, what is this? What is this? Guys, come on. I don't even know. It's like 2 sentries and like an observer. But that's like too many. Okay. Dazzle. Arcane. Like, you guys both need to start spending your money. Okay. One thing, do you disassemble the Arcane and then create the Aether? No, you don't. At least from what I can tell so far. But you can do that. That is a situation. That's usually what Shadow Shamans will do. Ogres don't really need to do that as much, but after this, what is the next big item you go? I think that Ogre can kind of go into a multitude of directions. I think that... Okay, so you do disassemble it. Excellent. Probably sell that Tango. You don't need that anymore. You don't even sell it? Come on, buddy. Dude. Like... Okay. So every second that you're shopping... You're wasting time. You should be getting last hits. You should be doing stuff. Like, all of this stuff that you could be, like, inventory management, buying out the next thing. Like, you don't need... You can literally walk and talk and be shopping on Amazon at the same time. Like, you need to get to that level. Okay? As a Dota player, it's about being efficient with everything that you're doing. Okay, good. So you do end up selling it at some point. So, excellent, Bombitz. But there's a lot of... You know, a lot of standing around. A lot of Tinder swiping. I don't know what you're doing, man. But, okay. Get this guy bloodlusted. Keep him bloodlusted, man. He loves your bloodlust. Like, you should just constantly bloodlust this dude. Oh my gosh. Like, you need to use... I don't understand. I don't think you know how powerful this bloodlust is. Like, the attack speed just makes this guy... Well, he just gets destroyed here, but... Oh, he fucked up. He fucked up. He cast Shallow Grave on himself. For shame. For shame. And he tried to glimmer you in shame. And now he's running for his life. He cast the Shallow Grave on himself when he needed to get that Slardar. Now he's probably gonna die. Glimmer. Is anybody around? Oh, he healed himself. Oh, but he was probably gonna pop anyways. Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. I mean, Sven just that cleave. Doing a lot of work. Doing a lot of work. Okay. Good, good, good. Alright, so with a team wipe, I like the fact that the Dire is pushing. Although they didn't really need to tank all that damage, it really doesn't matter. I mean, when you have all 5, take the T2. Good stuff. You got Greaves from the Underlord. Fine. You know, if they wanted to be really next level, like with all the the respawn timers being so quickly, like what they should have done is just taken the T2 and then Dark Rifted bottom, and then just push this one out and look to take the T2 here, because that Dark Rift shift would have put them into position to just take this creep wave, and then they could have taken the outpost. Now, look at all this wasted time walking, right? If you're an Underlord, these are the things that you need to do to just kind of help your team. Like, you don't have to always look at your Dark Rift as like, oh shit, get out of jail free card. It's like, you can use it aggressively and move from place to place and move the team into strategic objectives. You can be very coordinated if you do this. But you cut out, oh no, Bombitz, all you were looking to do is just probably just ward this, right? Yeah, you die here. Is there not a better neutral item for you? I don't know if the replays show this. Yes, it does show. I'm trying to see. I think that this one might be better for you. Faded Brooch. Because, like, the Agi doesn't really do anything, and, like, the block really, like, against, like, a Sven, and, like, the fact that, like, everybody else has magic damage really doesn't, you know, help you. I think the movement right now is a pretty big one. But, yeah, you guys are going in. God Strength is being used. The Ice Path, and he's fighting right into that. Is Dazzle here? What is going on? The Global Silence? Oh, the CK just, yeah, just trying to man fight this. But they do get the Sven, who's a little too deep, but you're standing in the Macro Pyre. Yeah, the Underlord should die. Okay, the Dazzle here gets the Shallow Grave. That's the right target. Good. I don't know if the Viper should be fighting this, but he is. He gets the Yules on up. He does tick off in the end. There was no heal or glimmer for that. And then you come in and you CSI all the dead bodies, right? No contributions, but you're here now. That's all that matters. Way to go, detective. No, but okay. Seriously, the Bloodlust thing, I think you need to... I think you need to cast Bloodlust more, right? Whenever this is... Like, you have enough innate regen from the Aether... And the fact that, okay, you do need to buy Tango, or sorry, TPs. You always need to buy the Costco special of 3. Make sure you always carry 3 around. Having no TPs is unacceptable. Second thing is that Bloodlust, you need to cast this whenever it is off cooldown. Whenever, okay? And I'm talking, make sure that you get the CK and you get the Slardar. You know what I mean? And if those guys already have it, then, like, it even helps them farm. Like, all of this stuff, like the Bloodlust, I don't think you realize how powerful this spell is. There are times, like there was a time where it went 1-1-4. Like it was so good. Just so you, like, stick to the Bloodlust, man. It's amazing. Okay, looks like you've decided to go pipe, which I think that it's fine, right? I would have preferred like an offlaner to do this, but you know, fuck the cores. They're not going to do the right thing. They're just going to buy damage items and think they're cool. But again, you need to buy tangos. Or sorry, not tangos. Oh my gosh. Please strike that off the record. You need TPs. That will be very important for you. But yeah, I mean, it's a very back and forth game. Okay, 24 minutes. It's almost 25. This is the time where you need to start moving out, start securing some space. Like, okay, this is a bad Roshan attempt, even though it's quick, because of the fact that the 25-minute mark is going to happen, right? The fact that, like, nobody's reacted to this is that there's no vision and they don't assume that the Slardar can solo this, which he can, because obviously the Corrosive Haze is just that good, especially against Roshan. And when you get infinite bashes like this, wish this guy had Bloodlust, just saying. But the reason why this is dangerous is because of the fact that they, you know, the 25-minute mark was going to happen and the runes were going to be picked up. So he gets lucky in the sense that the players, the enemy teams, just not reacting, like not understanding the game sense. But yeah, this Slardar kind of funny. The fact that like he's going straight up, probably another like Moonshard at this rate, and he just wants to go the meme build. The only issue though is that he's gonna have a hard time initiating. Like I'm thinking, like would Blink probably be a better item, but he don't care about that. He's going the meme. He's going the full meme build. Okay. Moonshard, Moonshard, Moonshard. And he's got Aegis now. Look at this guy. Just bash, 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 bash. And he's got healing through it. It's just a silly build. Okay, so CK just caught out by himself. Reaper Sight, he's dead. Okay, another thing to note is, like, okay. Because you've gone straight pipe, and you've gone this, like, utility thing, but one thing that you could have done is that if you feel like the game is going to go long, and sometimes you're doing really, really well, especially with an Ogre, it's okay to go Midas first. Now, this is probably a game where you don't, because you didn't have the greatest of lanes, but there are times that it's okay, and will help you further expedite your farm and everything. I kind of regret saying it, kind of don't. I think that it's one of those things where it's like a feel thing. Generally speaking, you should probably do it like maybe 25% of your games, but something to note because Midas is just so good on this guy. Second thing is probably like you probably need to worry about the Sven at some point. So like a Halberd would have been really good. Pipe as well. Again, my only issue is that you're struggling to find the next item for you because you're not really farming, right? And you're to get better in this game, you need to be greedier. I think that is the biggest thing for at least this level, is that you need to just take over the games. Because look, you have 5 people on your team, or you know, including yourself, right? But if they're not gonna go the right items, someone has to get it, and you can be that guy if you get the right items by okay. Alright. Oh, the Superman goes on the illusion. Yeah, the Macroplier, Global Silence. Okay, it's fine. The T2s are really not worth fighting for. You don't have to go all in, so to speak, in that sense. Slardar? Okay. Okay, so you're going to back up here. Okay. But yeah, like, there's a lot of, like, timing that you're kind of just chilling around. I don't think you've casted Bloodlust once, which kills me right now. But it would help all your cores farm. Plus, it can help you farm. Like, you do a surprising amount of damage, especially if you've got Bloodlust up. And you don't have to rely on all of your cores to take all the farm. Like, you could be out here pushing, split pushing, you know, taking jungle creeps and all that stuff. And why there's spider legs on the ground, I don't know. But you can do stuff on your own, right? You don't have to just worry, like, I'll let the team, you know, you don't have to be the position 6. Right? In a pub game, there's no such thing as a pub game, right? Or, sorry, in a pub game, there's no such thing as a pub game. No, in a pub game, there's no such thing as the 4 Protect 1 in that sense, right? Where you can take over these games, right? You can just man up, and how you do that is just by being greedier, by taking more. You don't need to be last net worth. You don't have to be that guy where you sacrifice everything for your team. Because, let's be honest, your teammates don't really know how to farm efficiently. They don't know what items to get. You can be that guy. Actually, this Quickening Charm would be way better for you. I think it's really good for you. And, yeah, you gotta get rid of this Poor Man's Shield. I don't think it does anything for you. And the fact that, like, this Quickening... Oh, my God. Do you guys even see it? Wow. You don't even see it. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Hey. Okay. No, Bombitz, I'm saying that Midas is generally speaking wrong. Okay? But there are times when you know, your team gets first blood, you know, you win the first 5 kills, you've completely dominated the lane, you're completely balling, all of these things, then go Midas. But for you, it's more of just farming in the jungle. Just taking advantage of the creeps that you can get. Obviously, you need to fight here. Oh, you needed to be inside. Okay, so you got the Sven, you stun lock him. Silence or no silence, it doesn't really matter. And your lineup is really, it's like a pretty good 5-man lineup. Actually, theirs is pretty good too. But their 5-man was not even close to being there. Like, they were kind of trickling in. This is another thing where Sven, if he wants to fight, he needs BKB. Oh, he went 2 mid-game items. This is actually really bad. This is actually going to slow him down. If Sven went, you know, MOM, Ags into BKB, he probably would have had the BKB right now. And that fight could have completely changed. Because your lineup is just straight up bashing people, right? Stunning, slowing him, and, like, just not letting him fight. Oh my god, this Slardar. What is he doing? Slardar going hard. Gets the crush one other time. The only thing is, I don't think he's... Look, okay. Slardar, you want to be casting this Corrosive Haze whenever it's off cooldown. Just constantly. Yeah, look at this. Does some work. Oh, the Silencer gets forced on away. And now you've gone in. Like, why are you diving here? Like, this game is literally over. Well, not over, but... Like, you had an amazing team fight here. And then your Slardar's like, alright, I don't care. We can start diving the fountain. Like, what? What? Stay objective focused, right? I like the fact that you're not, like, encouraging this by sticking around. Again, what? How long have you not had a TP, mate? How long have you not had a TP? Right? Like, I'm trying to will it into you. Like, TPs. Super important. This neutral item. Not good. The fact that you didn't pick up the Quickening Charm, which is actually really good, because all you have are cooldowns, or, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, you're just juggling through them. Like, this is, like, that's, like, the dream item for him. And, like, nobody wants it, apparently. Okay, fine. Almost got pipe. You're gonna push on through. By the way, iGaming Public, I probably can't get to your game today. I've got another game queued up after this. But maybe, because I queue only on weekdays, so probably Monday, if anything. Anyways, let me know what the game ID is there, and I'll try to get to that game next time. But okay, so you've got the... Oh, you're a little short on the money. You got to be farming, mate. You got to be doing something. You got to be stacking. Even at this time, it's okay to stack, especially if you're just going to walk around. Like, right now, you've done, like, this myriad of... You know, you've kind of mapped it out. You've become a cartographer. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of like, you need to either be babysitting, you need to be split pushing, you need to be more aggressive. But you, at the same time, you don't want to walk into this guy. Got to be a little bit careful here. Look at this Sven. He's like, it's glyphed. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to still attack it. Ha! Gets the last hit. Okay, good. CK, I heard it. Okay, illusions are out. You guys are moving into position. You do have the high ground, which is fine. Ice path on the illusions. Okay. One thing to note is that I've noticed that you... Hang on, let's just see how this goes before I go on. Slardar rushing in. He just goes straight... He was trying to save Jakiro. Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. And this Slardar doesn't use Corrosive Haze enough. Like, if he uses Corrosive Haze, he kills the guy way faster. Also, you need to be bloodlusted, mate. That's like the #1 thing. That's like, it's like killing me. Like, this is like the reason why you play Ogre. Other than he's ridiculously good looking. I mean, look how sexy he is. So sexy. Bloodlust is definitely something that you need to work on. Just keep it off whenever it's off cooldown, right? There's like no reason not to. You don't have mana issues at this point, right? Like, you don't need to save your bloodlust for anything because you should just be using it. Plus, all of your cores will love you for it, right? Okay, so Slardar here still does not... Okay, it's BKB, but no blink. Their team's kind of lacking initiation, something we discussed earlier. Paladin sword on the Viper. And you've still got this crappy poor man shield. Okay. The only thing poor about this is the fact that you're carrying it. Okay. What was I going to say? Right before the team fight, okay? You got to look at this. Right? Hang on. Let me just center it on you. Look at the ignite. Look at this circle. This giant circle that's around you. This is the range that ignite has, okay? Look at that versus the fire blast one, which is a lot smaller, right? This is the type where... Hang on, let's see this fight. Superman right onto you. You brought the Sven into him, and now you're going to take a lot of damage. That Sven with that God Strength, yeah, he just goes down, man. Slardar doing a lot of right-click action. Pulls him through the silencer. You could actually go for Roche and then continue to push. Or you can look to just kind of force high ground, see if they've got buyback or not. But okay, let me go back to this. This is another thing about Ogre, right? Ignite is just this... Hang on, why can't I center it on you for some reason? Okay, Ignite. Look at how big this thing is, right? Look at this one. Fire Blast. So when you walk up to the guy and the first spell you cast is Fire Blast, you're literally this close to them. Meaning that the Sven can jump on you, people can stun you, you're in a bad spot, right? But what you need to do, aside from more bloodlusts, is to start the fight with an Ignite. Okay? The Ignite, because you can shoot it from further away, and then it'll slow him down too, and slightly damage them because of the fact that it's got that DOT element, right? And then that Fire Blast can come in right after, right? Because you can walk up to them, because obviously, if they're that certain range, they could see you and they could literally walk away from you. Okay? Just some tips, and by the way, you don't need this Tango. What are you carrying a Tango for at 36 minutes? I told you to sell this a long time ago. Alright. You should probably just swap that in for the stick or the wand at this point. You do have the Quickening Charm here, so you did end up getting it in the end. Fine. Silence, don't care. Look at this guy. He doesn't even care. Mask of Manas, look at this guy. Mackie Dog gets pulled on through. Oh, the Slardar does die. He could buy back if he wanted to, but the Underlord finally dies. The Sven, look at how much damage he takes. Ugh. The CK's doing work. We've got Heart and Echo, and I mean, I guess that's pretty much all you need, especially this game. But what is the call here? Interesting, because in my opinion, you probably could have thrown it, but you're like, nah, bruh. We want to extend this game. We want to go to Megas. Shallow Grave, keeping him alive. Yeah, he probably needs to run. Stepping in that Macropire, he needs to get out. Fine. And he dies. Too many DOTs, yeah. And it looks like a buyback from Slardar. Okay, another Shallow Grave. That was nice, but you're probably dead. Okay, one thing you could have done, and it would have been super lucky and fortunate for you, is that right when he casts Shallow Grave on you, if you TP. Because you assume the fact that these guys don't have any more stuns left for you, right? I don't think that he had his stun. He might have had his Ice Path off cooldown or whatever, but he's pretty much the only one, and the Reaper, which has already been used. So you're literally because this is a 9-second cooldown, okay? And the TP's what, 3 seconds? So you could have gotten away. Like, anytime you get Shallow Grave, even if you play Dazzle, you have a get out of jail free card. And like, you have to time it, and you have to work around your opponent's spells. But if they don't really have a whole lot of, you know, stuns and all that, and roots, and so to speak, to stop you from TPing, you can get out. So this is something that you can work on, and especially like as an Ogre player, you know, if you get Shallow Graved or whatever, like these are the things that you need to learn. Aki Rob getting another one. Oh my gosh, this. Empowers your next attack every 5 seconds. Like I feel like there's so many better items. Yeah, like in this case, the Minotaur Horn, way better. Yeah, the Spider Legs I think might have been better here too. Oh, and he doesn't even want the Minotaur Horn. So wait, where is the Minotaur Horn? Because like an extra BKB is just super good, especially against this lineup, right? You can pop them both, and one doesn't lose charges. He doesn't Corrosive Haze? Okay, there you go. Alright, good. Look at all those bashes. This is so silly. And he's going to BKB for the Necro of all things. I don't think you need to do that. Okay, he thought he was going to be used up. Okay, alright. Wasted charge, but Prince's Knife. Don't need that. Yeah, but I think that this game is pretty much over. Unless there's some more throws. Jakiro with Greaves. Oh my gosh, Jakiro and... Hang on. Somebody else said. Jakiro Underlord. Yeah, this is really bad from their team. 2 guys that have spent, you know, 5k gold or whatever it is on the Guardian Greaves. 2 people got it. They don't stack. I mean, the heals and stuff like that, they work. But there's never a reason to get 2 of these things on a team. This is just poor communication on the team. You gotta talk it out, right? There's some things that are very, very, silly game, yeah. Yeah, it's a silly game because you're seeing multiple moon shards on this guy. Also, why are you not casting Bloodlust? Oh, you cast it on yourself. That's the first time I've seen it. Okay. But literally, you need to cast it on your cores, man. On all of them. All of them will love you. Nice BKB usage there. The Ice Path, there's no way. The Global Silencer is kind of trying to keep himself alive. The Silencer's like, okay, that's all I got. And he dies. Superman comes on through. Now he doesn't have a BKB, but it doesn't really matter because he got Aegis popped. And that's fine. A Reaper Scythe is actually wasted for that. That was really poor. He's going to wish he had the Minotaur Horn now. Hurricane Pike throws the Sven back, and if he dies, yeah, that's pretty much game, right? There's no way they can fight this. As long as you stand outside of the Macropyre, stay focused, guys. I think at this point, if you're not going to throw it, the CK's on the other end, the Ice Path, and the lock in, the Silence is going to buy back. But he doesn't really have a whole lot of damage. The CK's slowly getting whittled down. Oh my gosh, he's going to die. Yes. Silencer getting a little bit smarter. Slardar gets rooted. And the stun, gonna stop at least the Underlord. The Shallow Grave was nice, but I don't think he can really... Oh, he does get the kill? Ah! This is just super silly. The Shallow Grave, and he pops in the end. The buyback from the Necro. Yeah, Silencer's gonna try to walk back in the fountain. He cannot. The Glyph is there. And yeah, this Viper doing a lot of work. Look at how fast his wings flap when he's attacking. Gets used on up. Moist Potato trying to get back to the safety of the fountain. Does not. And that should be game. GG. And that should be it. Alright, so, I mean, your team played well, obviously. There are things that you could do a little bit better. Just itemizing, moving through, just kind of laning and all that stuff. So, I hope you learned something, Bombitz. Thank you for the replay submission. Again, I do this every single day on my Twitch. My name is Holler. You can find me on Holler TV. I do this 1 to 4 plus 8 GMT on Twitch, and I do this, obviously, all the replays that I save over, and I bring it over to my YouTube. Please do give a like and subscribe there. I can appreciate your support, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.